I'm Woman Grandmaster Sabina Fleischer, joining together with Grandmaster and my wonderful co-host, Kaden Troff. Welcome, Kaden.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Good to be here.
Good to be here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we're reporting live from the US Open, currently in round 2 of the Invitational tournaments. The Denker, the Barber, the Rockefeller, the Irvin, and the Herring events. It's really great to see so many strong players in their respective groups be here and represent their states.
A great event to be at. Had a very exciting day yesterday. A few upsets, a few others that were really close coming down to the wire. So it was, thank you, one of those that just you didn't know what was going to happen until the very end.
That's true.
We stayed here till the very
until the end. And that knight bishop endgame that we thought was going to be a draw, although white was pushing a lot with the knight, the knight.
Yes.
It was board 15, Eric Zhao against Karthikeya Data Miliredi. Hopefully I pronounced the name correctly. That was a really exciting game, and it was great to be here. Of course, there were some other upsets that we saw, one in the seniors or the Arvin tournament with Grandmaster Severiano losing his first round, but hopefully he will be back.
Yes.
It's going to be exciting today too, hopefully.
Yeah.
Right? We have two rounds.
Yes, 2 rounds today, so it'll be action-packed.
Exactly, with hopefully exciting chat.
Guarantee.
And this is round 2, so we started. The round actually, hopefully, is starting shortly. The moves will show soon for round 2, and round 3 today is going to start at 7 p.m. Today, and those are the Eastern times. Just very important for everyone to know. In case you are somewhere else in the US and you're trying to catch us live, just to know the times that you are mentioning are Eastern time. And have you had any chance to go around, check out the area, Kaden?
I have walked around a little bit, found a grocery store, found my first night here. I was struggling to find any food places that sounded good because a lot of them were like sit down late at night, and so I found an ice cream place.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I had for dinner the first night.
I see. Here. Was it a good ice cream place?
Oh, it was good.
Okay.
They had chocolate peanut butter ice cream, and that's all I needed.
I see. So, okay.
No, some good places, and yeah, I mean all within walking distance. I still need to really go walk down the river, which I've yet to do. But it's right here. It's literally right here.
Yes,
so.
I made a post on my Instagram page, so if you guys are following, you guys can see a little bit the view that these players who are playing in the US Open and the tournaments that are taking place also as side events, basically, have the opportunity to see. So you still have the chance to join in and play for the 6-day schedule or the 4-day schedule. The traditional 9-day schedule has already started, so you cannot join that anymore, but you can join the others, and it would be really wonderful. I think a really wonderful experience because, as we mentioned yesterday as well, this tournament is, Danny is flying in from California.
Nice.
What? That's tonight from California. I thought he lives in New York. That's gonna be interesting because I know who it is.
I feel like it's a 75% chance if someone chats that you know who they are.
I know who they are. I know some of the people. Yeah, Danny has been a supporter of my stream almost since I started, and I know him personally.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Still lots of time to sign up. I think 10 out of 10, grandmasters recommend still playing.
Yes, and
I haven't verified that, but it sounds right.
No, there are a lot of grandmasters playing, and let's remind everyone that the winner of the US Open this year qualifies for the US Championship. Yes. Later this year. The US Championship is going to take place in St. Louis in October, so it could be a great opportunity for someone to get the chance to play against the big names of U.S. chess, like
Yes.
Fabiano Caruana, Lenier Dominguez, Levon Aronian. I don't know if I said them right. Maybe Hikaru will play. We don't know if Hikaru will play
No one ever
championship. But
knows what Hikaru's gonna
Wesley
play.
Stoll, how can I forget
Wesley Stowe,
Wesley? Of course,
just crazy.
it is. And it seems that we're getting moves, so we can remind everyone about the standings if you wanted, or go directly into. Let's just go.
Yeah, just so many events. Standings would take
Go to the.
too long.
Oops.
Hold on.
1 second.
Little
We're
little
getting.
technical.
It's fine.
That's
While Keaton is getting that fixed, I just want to let you know that in case you are from a small town and you don't have a chess club in your area, you can always check out the US Chess website. They have a lot of information about how you can get started with a club in your area, and they can help you out with the process. It's always nice to see more people interested in chess, and if you feel that your area is not really it doesn't have a chess scene, you can certainly build one up yourself. And just make sure you go to uschess.org. And also, of course, you can find a lot of information and news and articles. So just be sure to join in.
Yeah, lots of great resources out there if you go check it out. So just as a reminder for everybody in the games that we do have that are being broadcast, the top 6 are for the Danker. So 1 through 6 is Danker, 7 through 10 is the Irwin, the senior championship, 11 through 14 is the Ruth Herring, 15 through 18 is the Barber, and 19 and 20 is the Rockefeller.
Yes.
It took me a while to memorize that, but
you got it.
That's
you got
the board variety. 20 boards, all from the different invitationals.
Yes.
That is the focus right now.
Yes, and these invitationals, for those of you who don't know, are for high school, seniors, all girls, middle school, and elementary, in the order that Caden mentioned. And also, we have players from almost every single state. They're the representative of their own state. Typically, the strongest player of that category joins in and comes to play here, and has the chance for various scholarships.
Yes. So
or qualifiers for other tournaments. So.
Yeah, really good opportunity. It is one of those you just feel I feel the tensity. Like, I know I'm not playing, but I feel the tensity walking through the halls. You just see the people that are in the zone planning for their games, parents that are thinking about their children, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Good luck, guys. Glad you get to deal with the nerves, and I just get to commentate on.
I had asked you yesterday, Kaden, if you played any of these tournaments when you were a kid, and you said that no, right? Did you get the chance to?
So for me, well, I will say, first of all, when I was growing up, it was really the Danker that was like the big thing. I don't remember when all these tournaments started, but I just remember growing up, like, it was basically you played in the Danker, or a lot of these other tournaments weren't. I think some of them were created more recently, or at least weren't as big of a deal. So by the time I hit that age of being in the Danker, I had my sights set on a few other tournaments, and in all honesty, speaking of the nerves, was not a fan of playing in too many tournaments of like a age category. I don't know. I like playing adults. Let them have the nerves facing a younger kid. So no, I never played in it myself, but always have had a lot of respect for these tournaments, and have really enjoyed watching it grow, them expand, and it is, even in Utah, which I wouldn't say is the biggest chess state, compared to New York, California, all those that we were talking about as favorites. But it's still like a really big deal. These tournaments are taken seriously. Qualifying for them is a big fight, and it's just really, really awesome to see.
Yeah, so actually, as you mentioned, a lot of these tournaments are named after someone who has made an impact to the chess in the United States. So the Denker, I have it here, so I'm cheating a little bit, but the Denker is at its 39th edition, so that's why probably, you were, as you're growing up, that was the tournament you wanted to go to. um, the Irvin is this at its sixth national tournament this year. I know I have met Mr. Dwayne Barber. I remember one time there was this chess cruise, and he happened to be there not for chess, for something else, but
Oh, nice.
it was just totally unexpected. And I had the pleasure of talking to him of his passion and for chess and supporting kids to go through to school and
Yeah.
continue their path through chess, but also go to school. So I know about I mean, I don't know about when it started exactly. I know it started 13 years. This is its 13th tournament. And I have met Women's International Master Ruth Herring as I participated in my first chess Olympiad in 2010. She was very nice, and when I heard
Yeah.
about her passing, I cried. I didn't know her very personally, but I've spent some time with her during a few Olympiads, and she was part of US Chess. And I was very excited when I heard that there will be a tournament organized in her name for girls to be able to compete and have a chance to qualify and get scholarships to
Yeah.
qualify for US Juniors girls championships. And then the Rockefeller only started like 4 years ago, which is exciting. It's a new one. It's a new tournament for elementary championships. Also, Mr. John Rockefeller the third. I know he's. I know the Rockefeller family has supported U.S. chess, if I'm not mistaken, for some time. I
Yeah.
tried to kind of learn a little bit about the history, right? Because I was
Yeah.
raised in Romania, so I didn't know as much, but I tried to learn new things. And then there's another one tournament that we're not talking about, which is a Blitz tournament that you want
Yes.
to talk about. Do you know about it?
So I again, my time and thankfully
Yeah.
I should have been using the cheat sheet on the years, because I was like, man, I don't want to say like I was forgetting about these tournaments. I'm pretty sure they started later, and they did. A lot of these tournaments are a bit newer, including um, Sunil
Veramontri, I think it's.
Vermontry.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I know Sunil,
Yes.
but that's what I say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
everyone knows him by Sunil, I
yes,
think. Or Hikaru's dad,
yes,
stepdad.
yes, and
So,
yeah, I actually just saw the photo of him with Hikaru getting married,
yeah.
and saw that picture of all them together. So I do think for all these players, it's it's just a great way to honor them, and I
Yes.
think in chess, there's a lot to be said about those that take the extra mile, go the extra mile to support chess, because chess, while it is growing and it's doing better now, chess has been around for so long,
It's true,
and we
yes.
owe so much to all of these people that these tournaments are named after, and their contributions. And there's a lot of people that uh, I don't think we would even be here. The U.S.
Yes.
Open and these invitationals just wouldn't be happening without some of these people. So
Yes.
it's
It's
a
nice
big
to
deal.
remember. It's nice to remember the people. Some of them are still alive, of course. We have to mention that. But it's nice to also have a tournament that, they want to. It's nice to see that they want to support future talents, and they find ways to sponsor a lot of kids through their lifetime. So chess and studying. I think school is very important. And yeah,
Yeah,
so hopefully
absolutely.
we gave you like a short overview of what's happening for the invitational tournaments. The time control is 90 minutes plus 30 seconds increment, which is quite interesting. I like the time control myself.
Yes, I love the time control. I like thinking. I like
Mm-hmm.
having, because it's more common to have the
Mm-hmm.
extra 40 minutes after move 40,
Right.
extra 30 minutes
30.
after move 40. Or you have some of these really long time controls. But 90 and 30 is just that perfect balance between having time to think and having time to actually rest in between rounds. So you're not just playing a 5-6 hour game and then you hurry and grab something, you didn't play another 5-6 hour game.
Yeah.
No, I really really like the time control.
I think it's nice, and hopefully also some of the players get the chance to rest and visit the CT2. As a chess player, sometimes you're playing a tournament and it's all about chess. I think especially if there are kids playing in the tournaments for the lower or, for the high school, middle schools, and elementary schools, hopefully they get some chance to visit the CT2. That's something I feel that I missed as a kid because I was always just focused on chess and trying to do well. And then I've been to so many beautiful places, but never saw anything. And I think you develop as a person too by, looking around, going outside, trying new foods, talking to
Yes.
people. Of course, making friends. That's something also that you do with chess. You meet people from different cultures and then you make friends. But
Yes.
let's get into the games, Kaden.
Okay, I know we want to get into. I know there's
Oh.
stuff happening. I just have
One more thing.
one quick thing to say
Okay.
from what you said. I am very much, when I play in tournaments, like, get into just my system, whatever that was. For some of the U.S. juniors, I had Subway every day for lunch just because I
Oh.
got into, yeah, it was,
So when you said my
very much
system, I
into.
was like, oh, are you talking about
No,
Nimzovich?
no, like schedule and
No, I get
just
it.
very comfortable. But at one point, my mom, who usually would travel with me, just said, like, we should make sure we go eat at a new like somewhere we've never eaten before every time we travel. And it was like, even something as simple as that was really nice, just to go try a different place. I mean, be a little bit careful because you don't want to get sick,
Right.
but was just a really good experience to go try some new food and all these travels. And I agree
Yeah.
with what you said.
And that
It's
that
a good
makes you feel
experience.
relaxed and ready and get some energy for the next rounds because the tournament, this specific tournament, the Invitationals, is quite short. They only have 6 rounds
Yeah.
and they want to try to score as many points as they can because there's no time to come back. If you lose, it's usually very difficult to come back. It's
Right.
possible. I'm not saying it's not, but it's going to be much harder. So you want to try not to leave points behind. Otherwise, of course, there's going to be some pressure. But even if that happens, taking a little bit of time of rest
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
between the games is important.
Yeah.
And I just want to say hello to everyone who's joined us later or join us now. Thanks for being here, and hopefully you guys enjoy the commentary, our commentary. Caden's gonna show you his appreciation.
Yeah.
It's like
Love you guys. You're great.
if I do that, I'm just like they will think like I'm too old for doing that. So I'll let you, I'll let you do it.
No, okay. All right, I got you.
I got-
I got you.
Sounds good. So
Oh, go
should we
ahead.
start? Should we start with the first board in the Denker? If there's anyone who has specific
So
games you want us to go through, or we can look at something if I see anything spicy happening. I see
I
some.
like spicy.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
looking for spicy,
because
but
I don't know, this is the top board on the Dinker now.
yes,
The top seed Jason drew last night, so he is fallen off the top board. Arthur
I think it's cool.
Guo
I think.
is now sitting on that top board playing a Petrov, which
Is c5 a good move in that position? Bishop d3. I don't know the theory here. I guess I should because I have prepared at some point a little bit.
So I'm pulling up the Lee Chess database to see what's commonly played here. Actually looks like Rookie 1 was the uncommon move.
They usually
Usually
don't like-
white plays c3
Okay.
and
Bishop c2 and d4. I thought that was
Yeah.
the setup for white.
so Rookie 1 goes for c5 right away,
But
and
is black gonna play d5 after? Or just c5 knight c6 and try to get a6 b5 and get some more space on the queenside. Actually, I like that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, so okay. C3, what if white tries to
Uh,
reassume?
the plan, but okay, knight c6.
Okay, bishop C2.
Can I go b5?
You can. It is legal.
Okay, bishop b7. Are you gonna go d5?
I, 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 I
It's
don't know. I
possible.
don't. I don't know. This is why.
I don't
Um.
I don't know about this, but I do like the two bishop c2 and c1 because you can get bishop g5 and build up some potential attacks on the king side. It's possible that my idea is totally bad. If you play d5, I have to go knight b d7 or go to a5. Maybe I'll go to a5.
Yeah, I like A5. This is one of those that can look a little scary, like it's gonna get attacked or trapped, but often the knight on A5 is relatively safe. You particularly see a setup like this in maybe a King's Indian with knight C6,
All right.
but
But the pawn in d5,
let's
white may have overextended with that move, I think. And
yeah, I maybe this is just altogether wrong. And you see he's playing bishop f1, c3. Well, it is a bit normal if you're playing rook e1. I I, I do understand bishop f1. Like if you're gonna play rook e1 and then go for c3, that doesn't seem to make much sense to me. Where this makes probably a bit more sense, just as far as consistency. You play rook e1, bring the bishop back, and maybe go for a quick
d4.
d4 now.
Oh, actually, if we play knight c6 now and we go d4, well, black should not touch those pawns. You definitely leave it that way, I think, because you don't want to create an isolated pawn for yourself. I wonder if white, maybe white is holding the pawn in c2 to go d5, c4, like in this situation.
Yeah.
That's an interestingly different approach. These positions are also, you can have something similar, I guess, from the French pawn structure, because the pawns are gone, so it just feels like it was a trade. Casual player says that this feels like an interesting Ruy Lopez transformation. They don't think it doesn't look like Ruy Lopez. I don't feel like it looks like a Ruy Lopez exactly.
Yeah, bishop f1 would be
More like Berlin.
I guess when we were playing like c3, probably a bit more. Here, not so much. With the bishop on f1, it would be a bit unusual. I don't know. This is.
It's very.
I'm glad you're pulling up. Like it's kind of like this opening because I'm looking at this like I don't know. I do think d5 c4
It looks nice for white.
makes sense. Yeah. And it is kind of nice that the d5 pawn wouldn't be attacked right away. I mean, unless you play knight b4, which looks a bit weird for the knight because it will just get kicked pretty quickly. But I do think it's nice because you don't have to commit to c4 right away, and maybe could even use that knight on that square instead. Put pressure on d6. I'm feeling like James here is winning the preparation battle, and still, it's not anything insanely significant, but as far as just these early stages and who's better prepared, does feel like James is taking this one so far, should have a slight advantage at least.
It's very interesting because if you look at the position, you see white has retreated with almost all their pieces back on the back rank. But the point is that they're attracting you to make some pawn pushes, which might create some weaknesses, and then they're getting ready to, retake control over the center. The bishop in d3 certainly was badly placed, so you had to find a place for it, whether it was gonna be c2 or back to f1. That would be something that was possible. So I do like this idea of just letting black figure out what to do. Wait, you
I
want?
don't know. I'm just you mentioned all these pieces going back, and now I'm like, how does this knight get to h1?
No, come on. But yeah, like sometimes you know that these ideas you don't want to do them, but if it helps you restructure your pieces, and black's bishop in e7 is badly placed.
Yeah.
In this setup, you realize that you want it in g7 if you could, but that's gonna take some time, and then or play d5, bishop d6, c7, but you don't have time for things like that because now white is attacking the center.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it is. I mean, the knight c6 d4 was played. Knowing that d5 is on the table does feel a bit like a Benoni transposition or a King's Indian with c5, where you do normally want this bishop on g7 to play on this diagonal. So yeah, absolutely, this bishop on e7 is just so bad right now.
Yeah, it needs some improvement. Casual players mentioning to go d5, that black can still go d5, and he can indeed, yeah, go d5 and go for the isolated pawn, or allowing the isolated pawn to be created if white chooses to take. But I don't think white is necessarily in a rush to take in c5. You could play a move like c3 and then, or maybe bishop f4 first.
Yeah, I like bishop f4.
And I'm just worried about queen b6 if I need to make sure that doesn't work. We might need to play c3 first. Right.
Darn b2 pawn.
Yeah, that.
I'm trying to remember because I know there's this Karpov game where black has this bishop on d6 and Karpov plays bishop g5, bishop h4, bishop g3, which in some cases is fairly common idea to try and trade off those bishops. But I can't remember how this b2 pawn was protected in that game. I'm actually.
I don't know that game, so maybe if I see
I know,
it.
I'm just spouting some
see...
random game.
And I'm also very bad with remembering names of who played what game, unless it's one of my favorites, some Capablanca game that I know. Like I have 2 games of Capablanca that I love, and then those are my games. And I have some people on my channel. They're like Sabina Capablanca, Capablanca Trebal. That's your game. You know, the one, the V-shape one, when he gets the pawns in a V-shape.
Capablanca V-shape.
Trebal. There's this game where he blocks everything on both sides of the board and he wins on the A file. And his pawns are like B6, C5, D4, E3, F4, G5, H6.
That actually doesn't ring a bell.
I'm sure you know it. You must know it.
Probably. I should. I love Capablanca.
But you don't know that game? You must know that. What about the winter? Those are the only 2 that I know, so I'm gonna
whoa, just hold on. Let me talk about some random Karpov game I know and make people think I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You're putting me on the spot.
Hi Noir, hi Chessful.
Howdy. Yes, I'm fairly confident if Chessful is the same person who has that name on Lee Chess. I know who that is.
Okay. Why is there a pause?
No, I'm reading the...
Okay. He's saying that I can talk about Capablanca all day.
Capablanca. So good.
Oh, he's the same person.
Welcome. Glad you could join us. He is very, very good at knowing the classics, so he probably knows what game you're talking about.
Yep, like he's heard it on my channel all the time, so he knows. I always talk about it.
Bishop f5. I'm actually really surprised. Like, I know Arthur is down 15 minutes on the clock, but I'm still surprised he's playing this a bit faster. Bishop f5.
You think he spent... Well, you mentioned yesterday that they shouldn't spend that much time. I don't know. He spent 15 minutes to try to figure out how to deal with that bishop f1 idea that, or rook e1 idea that he might or might not have been familiar with.
Yeah. Bishop f5 actually looks pretty good with some strange, like, seemingly out of place. You rarely get knight b4, but with the bishop on f1, if this knight... I don't know why you would play that, but knight b4 jumps in. and you already have some issues with that square. So at least gives James something to worry about now.
What is black planning to do against knight h4? Just take the pawn, huh? Taking d4.
Yeah, knight takes, give up the bishop.
Wait, no, I was gonna play c3.
Oh, you're gonna.
But
Oh.
I don't think it works. I was just thinking about it.
Feel like I can move my knight somewhere. Or maybe. Oh wait, hold
I
on.
was thinking
Bishop
bishop c2 or bishop takes b1, but I want to take.
Oh, your queen's actually really struggling with squares.
Ah, because if I go queen d2, you have knight e4.
Now knight e4.
Ah, you're lucky I can't sacrifice the exchange. I wish I could.
Hitting here, hitting here. Who cares what you're attacking of mine? Yeah, this looks pretty good.
It does not look very good for white. Okay, we can't do knight h4. So c3 is probably forcing in a way. Because you're not gonna play bishop d3 in this position. Or maybe a3? I would go c3.
Yeah. Yeah, c3 does feel like the move.
I don't think white can be too aggressive here. Because, you know, if I would play this game myself, I would consider even g4, you know, but... g4, bishop g6, bishop g2. And I plan on stopping your knight b4 with knight a3.
Wait, I can make the moves.
You can make them, yeah.
If I pause to think, but I don't need to. Because I'm not playing this game. It looks possible.
Whom do we choose here? Whom do we like? Do we like white? The problem is I cannot play c3 easily because you will have knight d3, so I have to have something ready for the knight coming to d3.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, here, I don't know. I feel like this position could go either way. But there's a part of me that thinks like you could have all these same ideas, just play c3 first, so you don't have to worry about it. And now knight h4 as well may be a consideration, or a more serious consideration. So my gut says black. I like the pressure. I don't see it. Maybe rook c8 actually in this position to try and play c takes d4 and go after the c2 pawn.
Well, I'll play c.
Oh, you have knight takes though. That just doesn't exist.
Chessful says prophylaxis. I know what prophylaxis. Maybe your rook c8 is prophylaxis. Can I play bishop f4? So I want to play this in a Caro-Kann style. One of those Caro-Kanns, you know, where you go g5 and then you play the advanced variation, the Caro-Kann, and then h6, g5. You bring your bishop back and you just start attacking the king side. You know, I'm not an e4 player, but I feel that this should be fine for white. Unless I'm blundering some material, which I don't think I am.
No, it's one of those positions, at least for me, that feels with the pressure here and the g-pawn push that black should have something, but I don't see it.
h5, you could play h5, but the question with that move is...
I'm just a bit worried about...
Can you?
Knight h4?
Really? I don't think you should.
Well, when you ask it like that, I don't think
sorry.
I can.
I'm sorry. I take in g4. Can I take in g4?
Yeah, take.
Okay, take back, then knight, and then you take back, and then now I can take in g4. I've created so many double pawns and weaknesses for myself. No, go back. This is very bad for black.
the best terrible. Pawn structure you've ever seen.
And then you take in b7 too, and then I will really have a terrible pawn structure. Let's not do that. Luckily, it's not my game, so I can.
So it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, people should know that they shouldn't create those kind of weaknesses. I'm being overly aggressive this morning.
It's good. It's like,
Uh,
when we're in the opening stage, that's the kind of
That's the kind of chess.
chess
But
we
you know, you're
need.
threatening bishop takes b7. I don't know how much you care about it, but you are.
I mean, I care about it now that I know
Yeah,
it
now that
exists.
you know that it's there.
That's
Okay.
not where my mind was. I was thinking way over here, but absolutely, bishop, taking on b7
Yeah, so we
is,
cannot go h5. It looks like the idea that black may want to make, because you see g4 and you're like, that pawn can't be there, but it can. So
yeah.
maybe it's not a bad idea. You know,
I
g4 is my favorite move, so if I can do it, I will.
it's actually looking pretty reasonable. I do like that James is stopping here and thinking,
Mm-hmm.
because this feels like a very critical moment where you're essentially deciding how you want to develop your pieces. Um, Everything up to this point, it feels like it's been kind of preparation for James, or a very simple D4 idea. Like, hasn't had the opportunity to actually develop his plan fully. Arthur just played bishop f5, so now some things that he probably has to think about, some g4 ideas, c3, where to develop the knight, the bishop. So I do like that James is taking his time here. I still lean towards James having the advantage, but from everything we've looked at, it is a bit of a double-edged position.
Yeah, it's exciting. I didn't expect it would be exciting. What was the opening of this? It was a
This
Berlin.
is Petrov.
Oh, Petrov. Petrov.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bishop d3. You know, I tried studying the Petrov in some US championship years back when it was online during COVID times, and I did not get very good results for this, so I stopped playing it completely. I spent so much time trying to learn it, but I guess I didn't really quite feel the positions. I mean, White has a lot of setups that they can get, so it's
Yeah.
very important to really understand what you're going to do about your king side. I think oftentimes the bishop in d3 is very unpleasant. So if you're not good with it, I remember I lost a pawn in like less than 10, 15 moves. I lost, there was some queen h5 and I was losing.
Oh,
I just lost a pawn. It was really bad. Morozevic's idea, bishop d3 was
bishop d3.
Morozevic's idea. Okay, but Magnus says, see, this is what happens when you're not checking. You have to check games even if you're not playing a specific opening. You still have to stay on top of your openings, I think. Do you see anything?
Yeah, it looks like it's
Oh,
become a bit of a popular move in the last few years. Games from 2018, 2022, 2021. And considering that there's only been 450-ish games played.
well, on Lichess
Yeah,
database,
on the
there
lead
might
test
be.
database, which surely there could be more, but it does feel like a fairly, popular, more modern idea.
Yeah, but I thought, like we discussed earlier, I thought White's idea would be to play with c3, bishop c2, but just going back into that rook e1, bishop f1 is kind of a creative
Yeah,
creative idea. Seems that you don't want anything from the position, but you do. You just want to make sure you position your pieces the best way you can. We could go check out another game too if you want, just to kind of get a sense of what other openings are played in these
yeah, that
tournaments.
would be maybe go to some of the other top boards and our other
Yes,
invitationals.
so we could go on board 7, which is Grandmaster Jesse Cry playing against Mark Halsey. Actually, I should check Mark's rating. So Jesse's 2452 and Mark is 2188. He's from Oklahoma, right? Okay, is Oklahoma?
Yeah,
Okay. Just making
Oklahoma is
just make
okay.
I'm just making sure, well, in Romania we also have like different, we don't have different states, we call them like different regions,
Mm.
and they all have things like
A
this with two,
little
yeah,
short code.
short codes, and that was a lot to learn as a kid. But anyways.
Yeah, so
Oh,
um
this line. Okay. I think white usually gets pretty good positions
Yeah, I
from this line. Jesse's really in attacking mode. You remember yesterday's game? He was attacking his opponent. I don't know if we saw the end of his game. He had that the long side, opposite side castling, and he had the attack on the queen.